Once you've developed some source material, it's time to combine and layer your sounds in the timeline. First, create a new timeline using File New and selecting Timeline as the file type. Drag one of your sounds from the prototypes, a sound file, or the sound browser, and drop it into a timeline track. Here's the selected sound's start time, duration, and end time. Let's change the duration to 20 seconds, scale to fit, and play the timeline by tapping the spacebar. Let's switch from the timeline layer to the layer containing the controls and presets for the sample clouds only. Select the default preset. You can see that the parameter controls in the timeline are the same as the sound controls in the VCS. The green dot indicates that the control is still live. Let's automate the live controls by recording them. From the automation menu, select Record Enable and apply this to all of the parameter controls. The red dots next to each parameter name indicate that any changes we make to those parameters will be recorded. Okay, so let's play the timeline and use the arrow keys to step through the presets. As you can see, the changes to each parameter have been recorded into the function editor. To edit a function, click and drag one of the control points. To add a new control point, use Control-click. Now let's drag a sample into track 2. Drop it and adjust its start time. Panner is an angle where 0 is straight in front of you, 1 is straight behind you, and 2 has wrapped all the way around to be straight in front of you again. You can delete a point, drag a point to a new time and new value, or type a specific value for the selected point. A line from 0 to 2 specifies a full circular pan around the listener. These buttons are transformations you can apply to the function. Apply the loop transformation to repeat the function as many times as it will fit in the duration of the sound. Next, let's drag a sample of a vacuum cleaner into track 3. You can drag as many sounds into the timeline as you like. If you run out of tracks, drag the sound into an empty area at the bottom and a new track will be created. Okay, let's hear what it sounds like so far. The fade in out envelope is for fading a sound in and out. To apply processing to a single sound, drag and drop the effect onto that sound. For example, you can tell by the cyan-colored arrow next to its name that cross-tingling with input has a replaceable input. If we drag it and drop it onto the vacuum cleaner sample, the spectral envelope of tingling with excitement will be applied to the vacuum instead. To apply an effect to several tracks in the timeline, first create a submix and route the tracks to that submix. For example, you could create a submix called Reverb, send the outputs of tracks 1 and 3 to that submix, select that submix as the input to track 4, and drag the Eugenio reverb onto track 4. Okay, now let's listen to what it sounds like with the RE cross-synthesis on the vacuum and with a submix of the sample clouds and the vacuum going through the reverb. can save presets with a timeline just like you do with the sound. The reverb should probably last longer than its inputs, so let's edit the end time.